News coming in right now. Diplomatic tensions between India and Canada escalate after Canada withdraws 41 diplomats from India. Diplomats withdrawn before October 20 deadline that Indian government had warned of, saying that it would be revoking diplomatic immunity if the deadline had not been met with. Canada is now withdrawing 41 of its diplomats from Indian missions.
As of now, I can confirm that India has formally conveyed its plan to unilaterally remove diplomatic immunities for all but 21 Canadian diplomats and dependents in Delhi by tomorrow, October 20th. This means 41 Canadian diplomats and their 42 dependents were in danger of having immunity stripped on an arbitrary date, and this would put their personal safety at risk. The safety of Canadians and of our diplomats is always my top concern. Given the implications of India's actions on the safety of our diplomats, we have facilitated their safe departure from India. This means that our diplomats and their families have now left.
My colleague of Foreign Affairs editor Geeta Mohan is now joining us over the phone line. Geeta, what does this mean in terms of diplomatic relations between India and Canada, which have been extremely tense, of course, since that allegation levelled by Canadian Prime Minister Justin Trudeau?
Well, it seems like all the back-channel talks and private conversations that both sides were talking about did fail, and India continued to remain determined that there needs to be parity. But that parity means that there is going to be no consular visa services in 3 consulates across India. And the halting of services will impact India because there are more Indians who go to Canada than Canadians coming to India. Having said that, India continues to maintain that there needs to be parity at a time when the ties between India and Canada continue to remain
Right, Geeta, just hold on for a moment. Ravindra Sachdev is joining us. He's a foreign affairs expert. Mr. Sachdev, thank you so much for speaking to India today. Canada says that meeting with the deadline that India had issued, India said that it would be revoking diplomatic immunity to 41 Canadian diplomats in India. Canada is withdrawing those diplomats, but has also said in a tit-for-tat that in-person services at certain Canadian consulates here in India will also be stopped at the moment, stalled at the moment. What does this mean overall in terms of diplomatic relations between India and Canada?
Thank you very much. In a big picture, it means this is a new normal between Canada and India ties. Yes, I think Friday was the deadline for Canada to kind of bring parity. So this is a new normal, and this new normal is lower than the previous normal, right? So India-Canada relations right now seem to be on ice, kind of frozen for the time being. But I do think that a lot is happening in the back channels. So let us see what those back channels can throw up as a way ahead on both sides. And the other thing I'm just looking out for what next development in the Niger inquiry Canada will come up. Because remember, there is an ongoing inquiry by the RCMP into the Niger murder case. So maybe in a month or 2 or in a few weeks, Canada comes up and says, you know what, we found this as per our investigation. India did not cooperate, but this is our conclusion. Now, that would be another, hiccup or a big hiccup when that happens. So I think we should be kind of gearing up for that.
Right. Mr. Sachdev, thank you so much for speaking to India Today. Also, thank you to my colleague Geeta Mohan there, of course, telling us what this means diplomatically. So, seems like the tensions between India and Canada continue to escalate after that allegation that was levelled by Canadian Prime Minister Justin Trudeau against the Indian government, the Indian establishment.